What's up?
Mason here on the Synthedelic channel.
This time it's going to be a Megadeth tone. So far, so good. So what? Sorry it took me so long to put this video out. Had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm here now making the video, so everything's okay. So let's hop into the Tone Studio and check out what I got going for this. I couldn't find any isolated tracks other than AI isolated tracks, so it was pretty hard to make out the exact distinctions of guitar tone, like what was the bass and the guitar tone. So I tried to find parts of songs that there wasn't any other instruments playing, and I kind of modeled it around that. So for this tone, I started with a sneaky amp. I started with the Afire Vintage Sneaky Amp. It's supposed to be a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. And with 47 on the gain, 66 bass, 42 middle, 54 treble, 40 presence with a deep cabinet resonance. This is the basic starting tone. It's a little heavier on the low end side. I think it's a better starting point. It's kind of thick and a lot of the frequencies just bleh together. So I think starting with the lower deep amp is good. For this, it's going to be chain 4-2. This is so I can have a doubling effect on there. Most of the guitars on this whole album have this dissonant doubling happening. I got the Senta OD booster, as always. 51 drive, minus 11 tone, plus 10 bottom, 50 effect level. And with the Senta OD here, it sounds a little crunchier. I got this graphic EQ here, taking out a lot of the sub bass so that you can get a lot tighter of a palm mute. Minus 1931 hertz, minus 6 62 hertz, plus 5 125 hertz, plus 2 250 hertz, plus 6 500 hertz, plus 6 at 1K, plus 8 at 2K, plus 5 at 4K, 0 at 8K, plus 7 at 16K, and the levels on minus 5. The 2K at 8 is the main outlier here. That frequency is pounding through the mix a lot harder than most of the other frequencies I noticed. So I have that one a little higher. And with that, it sounds more like this. In the effects section, I have this parametric EQ, 63 hertz low cut, plus 4 low gain. At 315 hertz, I'm boosting it by plus 4 dB with the Q at 2. At 500 hertz, I'm taking away 4 dB with the Q at 2. I have a high cut at 10K. I'm boosting the high gain by 9 dB, and I'm boosting the level by plus 2. That adds a little bit more distortion on top of it. It makes it a little thicker with the low gain. In this first delay section here, I have the modulate delay. This is the doubler. I have the millisecond delay time on 31. Where you have this will shape how the flange is sounding. If I have this, let's try 90. Back down to 31 where I had it. Turn the effect level up so you can kind of hear it. You can really hear it there. That is on the album like the whole time. The high cut's on 6.3, the mod rate's on 28, and the mod depth is on 25. On the second delay, I have this coming after the amp. 66 millisecond delay time. Feedback is at 51. The high cut's at 10K. The effect level's on 42. This is basically just making like a little slap back. I think that there's a little bit of a slap back from delay in the tracks. I think it sounds better with it. I have plate reverb turned on with the reverb time at 1.9, the pre-delay at 30 milliseconds, the low cut at 315, the high cut at flat, the density at 6, and the effect level at 52. Here is just the reverb. Makes the tone sound more like the album, in my opinion. You can turn off the delays and the reverbs. That's up to you. I have the solo turned on for the solo EQ set to amp out. Low cut at 100 Hz. The mid frequency is 250 with the Q at 8, and I'm taking away 6 dB. The tone doesn't have a whole lot of type sounds, so this keeps the tone more of a manageable level. I have Contour 2 with the frequency shift at 24. In this first panel EQ, I have it set to amp out with a parametric EQ, low gain on plus 2 dB, low cut at 63 Hz. I'm boosting 2K by 3 dB with the Q at 2. I'm boosting 630 Hz by 5 dB with the Q at 4. I have a high cut at 10. Boosting the high gain by plus 2, and the level's on plus 5. The 630 Hz boost up is because when I was playing a little bit earlier, just like a couple minutes ago, I noticed that when I was going A-Bing between their recording and mine, mine sounded a lot more scooped than it needed to be. So I added a little bit back with the 630 Hz boost. With the second panel EQ here, boosting the low gain by plus 3, the low cut's at 63. At 5K, I'm taking away 6 dB with the Q at 8, and at 10K, I'm taking away 5 dB with the Q at 4. I have a high cut at 10, boosting the high gain by plus 2, and the level by plus 5. And the noise gate's on 50, release on 0, and that is the tone. It gets a lot more volume, with these two panel EQs, because I'm boosting the level up. If you boost the level up after the fact with these EQs, you're basically shaping the whole thing. Like, the whole sound changes if you change the level on here. It acts like a completely different EQ than it would if you just had this at 0 and boost these back up. It basically takes the whole sound and removes only those specific frequencies, and you can do it the other way around. If that's a little confusing, I probably will make a whole video on this explaining how I shape the EQs and why the level is always different. Because if I take this level down on both of these, I don't think it sounds as good as with the level up, and that's not just because it's louder. You can kind of hear how it's a little more nasally squonky, but if I take these back up, for the sound demos, the microphone placement is the same as this one. I didn't move it from the sound demos. It's about right here, and that's going into my Behringer mixer. The EQs are straight up and down. Nothing's being changed there. It's just going into the left channel, and that's going into FL Studio. I'm a little more transparent about that. And I'm not using any post-processing besides like changing the volume of the recorded tone and panning it. And I also, just in case there's a little bit too much thump or bass, or it's a little too loud, I add a multiband limiter compressor, and I reduce some of the lower frequencies when it comes up. It's only being reduced when it comes up past a certain level. And in the room, when you're playing, the louder the bass feels, the better, in my opinion. But yeah, here's the demo. This Fender guitar's got me by the throat. So let me know what you think of the tone down in the comments down below. Leave any suggestions for tones you got in the comments as well. If you thought this tone was pretty damn good, leave a like on the video, please. Out of all my tones, I think this is one of the ones where I haven't nailed it perfectly. There's still just a couple things, and it's because it's a Katana. The Katana is going to usually sound like the Katana. It's pretty hard to get it to not sound like a Katana because it's in this box here, the cab's shape and the size. The Katana sounds like the Katana because it's not the speaker, in my opinion, but the box that the speaker's in. Like, you can change the speaker, but it's still gonna sound like a Katana. For the clean tone in this video, I was using this one. It's the same one in most of my videos. But I have my guitar in the split humbucker position on here. How fast can I play that? If you can play this fast, make a video out of it. Yeah, that's hard as fuck. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the tone. And until the next one,